Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast for conscious, cycle-breaking parents ready to turn toddler tantrums into teachable moments. Hi, I'm Cara Tyrrell, a lifetime lover of littles, mom to 2 grown and flown girls, and an early childhood educator. Through the show, I teach you my collaborative parenting methodology for nurturing your little human's mind, body, and spirit. Because how you connect and collaborate in the first 5 years is how you raise happy, healthy kids who grow into the best version of themselves and find true success in school and life. Welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about autonomy. I have parents ask me all the time, how do I keep my child self-aware and feeling really self-confident in this world about what they do and don't do and don't allow with their bodies? This came up a lot over the holidays, and so I promised everybody I would do an episode on body safety and body autonomy. But I actually want to make it even bigger than that. Your kids are raised in a world that is all access all the time. And somehow, over the course of the last 15, 20 years, we as adults have morphed into this auto-conditioned space that it's okay to share everything about ourselves with everyone, particularly on the internet. There are pieces of information that you don't know you share when you share things on the internet. So I really wanted to share a story today about raising kids who bridged that gap. My girls were born in 2003 and 2005. And so, the all-knowing iPhone, AI, not a thing, not yet, and not readily available in households. So we started the journey of raising kids being with them, physically with them. And I took a ton of pictures. I mean, scrapbooking, I'll show you mine someday. They are my prized possessions. I really was somebody, I still am, who memorializes, who wants to keep track, who loves to see our life in images and watch the progression and the journey of my kids growing up. But I wasn't taking 47 pictures every time I took one and then deleting the ones that weren't good enough and then posting the one that I loved, because it wasn't available to me yet. And I'll be perfectly honest. If I was a parent during this time period of littles, I probably would. It's so hard to resist. Why do we want to share the images of our children? Why do we want to share the smiles and the sillies and the giggles and those really connected moments where they're hanging over us and they're loving on us? Why? We want to share our joy with others. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is true human connection being sought after. But there's 2 pieces here. One is that no matter how much the person on the other side of that digital device loves you or not, family member or perfect stranger on your Facebook feed, you can never have true human connection through a device. You just can't. It's a fact. In fact, when you get together with that other person on the other side of the device, what's the first thing you say? Oh, did you see my post? You want to talk about it. You then want to share it. So I was given a gift of raising kids before this was in my face all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what I can tell you is that when they became old enough, when they hit 13 and were eligible for these accounts. And we did start thinking about providing them a phone for safety purposes when they were out of the house or with friends or getting closer to driving, right? When we thought about those things, and trust me, we did not start early. It was permit time. 15 years old is about when you got yours. And I realized in that moment that I was responsible to my children for what I post about them and the images I put of them online. That I was the creator of their digital legacy. And because we were in those middle years, it was even more obvious to me because they had preferences. Oh, Mom, no, not that picture. Ew, that one's gross. Don't post that. And of course, it was coming from, self-reflection, teenage angsty, but still, I got the point. I need to be very careful about the representation that I give my children online because it never goes away. If I post I don't even know because I wasn't part of that journey, but if I post an image of my 18-month-old who has some clothes on, but not all clothes on, even if it's a really cool picture, right? Covered in Easter egg paint or something, like nothing wrong with it. Is that a legacy that they want to attach themselves to over time? And then if you think about the extrapolation of this, we now know that hiring committees go to social media to see not just what images of your child exists of all time, but what they're posting during those tricky teenage years when their frontal lobe is not fully developed and they're still all mushy in the brain and they're not making great decisions, right? That's scary to me. That there is no auto check on us or our kids for what is being posted about them online that will forever live there. So what I did, because collaborative parenting is my game, is I went to my girls. Well, first here, all right. I'll be totally honest, as I always am with you. I did get caught up in it a little bit when it first became available to me at all times. And they came to me and said, "Can you stop, please? Can you not put all these pictures of us online all the time? We don't really like it." I was like, "You don't even have accounts. How do you know?" Terrible answer, I'll admit, but I was curious. And they said, "Our friends are showing us at school. We don't like it." And I realized they had autonomy over their imagery and over their bodies. I said, okay, how about this? Because I love sharing my joy with my friends and family. And back then it was just a Facebook account and it really was just friends and family. I love sharing our joy and sharing you with the people who love you that don't get to see you all the time. So what if I ask permission to post? And if you say no, you say no. And if you say yes, I will be grateful and I will post it. And they thought about it. It wasn't an immediate answer, but finally that was the compromise. That was the collaboration that we came to, was that I would be like a sergeant major general and I would have to go ask every time permission to post, and they would say yes or no. And it became a really cool way of me feeling like I could share the girls sometimes, but also really honor and respect them too. At 19 and 21, neither one is super active online. Neither one has accounts that they pay attention to so much, and they definitely don't post their own stuff. And it's still me wanting to share my joy If you watched my Instagram recently, I posted about when Claire came home for a quick visit, and there were some pictures and videos. And I texted her once she got back to where she lives, and I was like, I have some pictures and videos, and I love them. Permission to post, please? And she went, oh, okay, fine. Sure, do it. This relationship, this trusting relationship that if they say no, I will honor it and not do it. That is one of our core tenets in our core 4 parenting methodology. And so I really highly encourage you, even though you still have teeny, tiny humans and you live in this digital world of all information all the time is shared, to take a moment or two and stop and think. Picture your child as a teenager. Picture your child as an adult. And do that auto check for yourself. How do I want them to be represented forever online? And how do I think they're going to want to be represented in this digital world as they grow into new senses of knowing who they are and growing into who they want to be? Just a question to ask yourself. You know, there really is no right or wrong. I'm not about right or wrongs. I'm about what's right for you and what's right for your children. And as you work together over time, how will you create what's right for your family? I truly believe in you. And I know that your intentionality in this journey is such that you are crafting their childhood on purpose. So I encourage you to craft their digital legacy on purpose too. Whew. I've been feeling really nostalgic lately, and I think a lot of this is coming from there. But being on the other side of parenthood, having raised my girls and having adult kids, it really does give me that perspective, that lens back. So I'd love to hear from you. I really would. If you would take a few minutes and scroll all the way down after finishing listening and rate and review the show, share your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, it would mean the world. Until our next episode, continue to be your proactive, mindful, best selves as you parent the next generation.